It's time to step inside the IkeTagon with your host, Ike Feldman.
What's up, everybody? Your boy, Ike Feldman, back for another IkeTagon, IkeTagon. Figure it out already, I'm getting tired of spelling. I got a 10-month-old, and I'm going to be doing a lot of spelling in the near future, so just Google, keep doing what you're doing, listening, subscribing, liking, comments, give the thumbs up or the thumbs down if you really don't like me. We can thumb wrestle if we ever meet. Just put some hand sanitizer on your hands first. Guys, I am still recovering from an amazing weekend, which was center poled by a center pole event, which was not a circus, but a beautiful culmination of my favorite sport and my favorite location, MMA on Long Island. Holy moly. I haven't been to a Long Island based MMA fight, man, 2013, 2014. Obviously been to a lot of local grappling events, but man, Flex Fight Series, formerly Triton Fights, know how to put on a freaking card. Holy moly. The music, the entertainment aspect, the party feel. Oh, man, I went to Patchogue. Like, my stomping ground is Patchogue, Bayshore, Port Jeff, all over Suffolk County. And it felt like it was a beautiful marriage of fighting and friendly hangouts. There actually was a fight at the end of the event. It wouldn't be a Long Island event if there wasn't a fight at the end that was not inside the cage. But guys, it was amazing. Shout out to Flex Matchmaker Chris. Shout outs to Nick Canobio, Dan Canobio, and the entire Flex Fight Series team. You guys are great. Hopefully I can be on the team. Let me play, coach. Let me play. But my favorite fight of the night was a devastating body punch landed by Justin Kid Marvelous Montalvo. I know I've spelled his name like 3 different ways on social media. I was exhausted. Again, I'm still recovering from the weekend. I've been to maybe 15, 20, maybe 20 combat sports events as a media member. I've never sweated this much in my life. It's like, again, I'm working remote. I'm watching my kid exercising with some bands and 5-pound weights, shake weights. Just kidding, you animals. And I don't know, maybe I wasn't conditioned for it, but I was just dripping sweat trying to do the memory was there, the muscle memory was there, but the muscles weren't there. Shooting social media, posting instantaneously, filming interviews, shaking hands, introducing myself. I don't know. It was awesome and exhaustion at the same time. But Justin Montalvo, a Law MMA product, got it done and represented his team very well. His father's amazing, Nestor Montalvo, who, what a guy. Seems like a really cool guy, is a really cool guy. And, yeah, it was exciting. I got to introduce myself to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you're that weird guy with the interviews." I was like, "Yep, that's me." He's like, "Come say hi to my son," and everything was great. It was a beautiful return to the MMA scene on fight night. So very blessed, very lucky. Hard work pays off, and everything went well. But Justin Montalvo was the star of the night. So what do you know? We dip back in the well. We go to Law MMA. we have his teammates, Dylan Mantello and Dennis Buzukja. These names, man. They're going to kill me. Yeah, we got his teammates, Dylan Mantello and Dennis Buzukja. That's right, folks. So, coming up next, young Dylan. I didn't think this guy sounded like that. I'm going to be a straight shooter with you guys. I seen this guy fight. I saw him on the event on Saturday. It was very intimidating to approach him, not only because he's a tall man and ready to rip somebody's head off. This Friday, ROC 74, Atlantic City. That's where Dylan and Dennis are fighting. Double D, they're going to get the double dub on Friday. Again, ROC 74. It's on Fight TV. Tune in. But yeah, I didn't know Dylan even had a voice box. Turns out this guy not only has a voice box, he is extremely well-spoken and very cool, intuitive, intelligent, and you don't want to miss this. So right now, Dylan Mantello.
Out of the Cerro Longo fight team, trained by Ray Longo and Peter Sell. From Long Island, he is tonight's challenger. Welcome, please, the Quiet Man, Dylan Mantello.
It's time to step inside the IkeTagon with your host, Ike Feldman.
What's up, everybody? Enjoy the tunes. This is royalty-free music. Thank you, YouTube. But I don't know what type of music the Quiet Man _ MMA on Instagram likes, Dylan Mantello. But we will find out. I should know this. I mean, I feel bad because I got rid of my Fight Pass, my UFC Fight Pass subscription. And if you guys are into local fights, pro fights around the world, keep that subscription. But since the ESPN took over the whole UFC thing, they throw like 90% of the fights that you'd find on Fight Pass up there, except the more local regional pro fights. And that's where our next guest comes from, Dylan, the Quiet Man Mantello. He'll be fighting this Friday, Ring of Combat 74. Dylan, should I whisper? Is this going to be a quiet interview? Or I've never heard you speak before. What's going on, man? Hello. Are you there?
Hey, what's going on, man? How are you? Yeah, no, I can speak for sure.
He's got pipes.
What's going on?
What's up, man? First of all, where'd the Quiet Man come from? Did a teacher do that to you? You punched him in the face, you got the tension, and it was just a wrap from there? What happened?
Yeah, you know what? I was always kind of a quiet guy growing up. You know, I like to keep it humble, you know, especially in the gym. When I first started MMA, you know, I a little bit of a, you know, chip on my shoulder. And, you know, kept the little people off, you know, kept people from, you know, getting a little closer to me maybe. So it's kind of just a nickname that stuck for me. It's actually from a John Wayne movie that I watch with my dad every year on St. Patrick's Day. It's The Quiet Man. It's about a fighter from Pittsburgh who kills a man in the ring, and he moves away to Ireland and tries to run away from fighting. And you know, he tries to figure out ways to run away from fighting, but then he realizes that he needs to fight just for the right reason. So it's you know, it's an important movie for me. It's a great bond that I share with my dad, and you know, it's a great it's a nickname that fits, so it works.
Nice. And not only quiet, not only humble, but poetic, man. That was beautiful. Again, we're being joined by Law MMA's Dylan Mantello, undefeated 4-0 in his pro career. Dylan, jumping off that, man, I believe personally, man, I've been in this the MMA local scene. I forget what the Jamie Varner gym was in Selden, but 2009 I was there, before pre-Conor McGregor. It was like the height of the Anderson Silva career. Humble martial arts, the guy could barely speak a lick of English. Now fast forward 2016, Conor McGregor comes on the scene. He's the #1 star. I'm praiseful and thankful for Conor McGregor for bringing the sport new attention, bringing it to ESPN. Now the whole world will see how crazy the athletes in the sport is. But in your opinion, and doing some research, you were in the sport for a while, man. Just training being in the mix, even while you're in college. Did it kind of turn you off, or does it kind of turn you off with some of the maybe the new fighters who may be trying to replicate themselves as like a McGregor? Did they look past the humble McGregor, the notorious documentary? If you check, the guy who was a true martial artist, now he seems like he's Money McGregor. In your opinion, have you seen a change in the athletes who've kind of gravitated towards mixed martial arts?
Yeah, there's been a huge change from the beginning, from UFC one. A lot of it was back in the day. It was all about martial arts and humility and testing yourself and things like that. But I understand that this is a promotion. It's not like any other sport. You need to promote yourself. We're independent contractors. You need to get your name out there. So I don't like to hate on anybody for trying to put their name out there, do whatever they do, as long as it's authentic. For a guy that is being himself and is loud out there, and that's what he wants to do. God bless him. Go do your thing. I understand that I need to get my word out too. I can't be the only, not say anything whatsoever. But I was a big fan of Conor McGregor back when he was shooting those, underground videos. Training in with Gunnar Nelson and I think it was like Switzerland or something, right? Where were they?
Iceland.
Iceland, right? Yeah, right. Just laying low and building up his reputation and stuff like that. And he's brought a lot of eyes to the sport. So they say the rising tide lifts all ships. So, but for me, I just think it's important to be authentic. And if everybody's going to go and shout and be loud, then who stands out? The guy who doesn't speak and the guy who doesn't yell and doesn't try to talk a bunch of shit. So that's kind of how I am. I kind of like to go against go against the curve, go against the cut there and say, this is who I am, and my speaking fights for its my fighting speaks for itself in the cage. So anybody watching my fight, I guarantee they'll be a fan afterwards, because I bring it and I'm trying to take people out. And I think that's the most important thing in this sport. If you can talk on top of that, that's great. But the most important thing is getting in there and putting on a fight that the people want to see.
And 100%, man, you will be getting in there and put on a fight against John Ramirez this Friday, Ring of Combat 74, man. A lot of layers to peel back there. Let me ask a two-part question. What fighters did you gravitate to, and does it bother you if you feel a fighter isn't being authentic with themselves?
What fighters in the UFC or on the team? Or
yeah, most well-known fighters do you gravitate to, like Machida? Like, what type of fighter kind of like not necessarily got you into the sport, but you respect the way they go about their business?
Oh man, that's a long list. I mean, just locally, I would have to say Chris Weidman was a huge influence for me. I remember back in the day, UFC 162. I was training, I was doing jujitsu. I was an athlete my whole life, but I was also partying on the side. And, I went to LSU. So, down in Baton Rouge, they like to party down there. So I got a lot of that in my blood. So, but I remember UFC 162, there was this party that I was going to, and I was like, we'll figure out, we'll try to fight, we'll try to watch the fights. Cause I was coming up then, and I really started paying attention to MMA at that time and the UFC, and I found out, oh man, this Chris Weidman guy is from Long Island. He's fighting Anderson Silva, and then I look into it, and it's like, oh man, this guy's got a chance here about doing this. So I was really pumped for the fight, and I was like, we'll go to this house party, and they'll probably have the fight on. We'll go watch it there. And we get there, there's no fight on. I'm like, what do I do here? Do I stay here, or do I try to figure out a way to watch this fight? And then my brother texted me. He's like, yo man, we're going to Applebee's with a few of my friends, to go watch the fights. You want to go watch the fight? And I had this decision in my mind, and I was like, do I want to stay here and play beer pong with all these guys right now? Or do I want to go watch
all these hot women, a ton of full kegs?
It was a good time. But there comes a point in your life where you need to make some hard decisions and say, what do I really want long-term? And I wound up saying, you know what, forget this. I called an Uber. I left the party, went by myself. I met my brother there. It was packed. So I found that there was more people out there, doing different things like me. And I got there, and we put on the Anderson Silva fight, and man, I watched them walk out with the American flag, and the whole Applebee's is going crazy. We're on Long Island at this point, and people are just going crazy. And he comes out and he knocks out Anderson Silva, and the whole place goes crazy. And I remember him, I remember that fight vividly. I watched it all the time. He took out his green mouthpiece and he threw it and he was going crazy. And I still have a green mouthpiece, a neon green mouthpiece for that same reason, because it's a huge inspiration for me. I remember that moment. I was like, man, I should be doing whatever I can do to feel that moment. So that's been a huge inspiration for me. And from the first days that I walked into, Serra Longo and Law MMA, the first day I walked in, I saw Ray Longo sitting at the counter waiting to do the kickboxing class. I was like, holy shit, Ray Longo's actually here and he actually teaches these classes. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And then, I haven't left. I've been there for, 4 or 5 years now. And, I get better every single day in that gym. So it's just every day I feel like is a dream come true for me working with these guys. And there's obviously plenty of guys in the UFC now. I think Israel Adesanya is closer to my style. Stylistically, I like to be a long striker. I like to be entertaining. I like to be vicious. I like to be well-rounded. And he's a guy that I really, emulate. And he talks a lot of shit, but if you see him after the fight, against Anderson Silva, he's laying face down on the floor out of respect for him. And, all these other guys that, that are above him, he shows respect and he's a true martial artist, but there's a showmanship element to it. So, I think the game's evolving and I'm trying to evolve with it and take the best of everybody.
Amazing, man. Again, a lot of layers to unpeel. What sports did you play? You said you played other sports.
Yeah, growing up, I wrestled when I was like 7 up until high school. I played hockey. I
wouldn't say that's other sports though. That contributes. That's an art. Wrestling and boxing are arts. That contributed to mixed martial arts. But anything outside of the arts?
Yeah, I think wrestling was a good base for me, especially learning at that young age. You develop those instincts. So that was helpful for me. I played football. In high school, I really concentrated on football. I was a strong safety.
You tough son of a bitch.
Really my main goal was football at that time. So it didn't really make sense cutting weight for wrestling and then trying to put weight on for football, because I wasn't like the thickest dude ever. So it was kind of a balance. I wound up going with football. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Maybe, I know wrestlers that got burnt out in high school and, they ended up not really doing much in college or anything like that just because they got burnt out. But I played lacrosse. I played football. I played I played a lot of volleyball competitively too, also with some friends on the team here on Long Island.
Can you dunk?
Soccer. I played every sport growing up.
Volleyball, but can you dunk?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty tall guy, so you work on your right hand spike. It's kind of similar as throwing a right hand. It's a lot of timing. It's a lot of hand-eye coordination and things like that. So, I think my athletic background growing up has been important for me in MMA, and being on a team too. Some guys are fighters, and I consider myself a fighter too. But being on an MMA team, if you want to go far, you need to have a good team, and in order to have a good team, you need to be able to treat people in the team the right way. So I try to be a leader. For a lot of the younger guys on the team, I'm a little bit older. I'm 28, so there's some younger guys, but we have a really solid team coming up right now. And I try to be a leader, and I try to be a good teammate for everybody. And the proof is in the pudding right now, because a lot of our guys are right there on the cusp here, and we're going to be seeing some of us really making some splashes here soon. So it's a great vibe in the gym right now.
Amazing, man. Again, we're being joined by Dylan Mantello. Fights this Friday, Ring of Combat 74, UFC Fight Pass against John Ramirez, product of Law MMA, undefeated. Follow him on Instagram at @thequietman_MMA. He is not quiet. He's well-spoken. This guy is a man of many layers. He's a poet and an artist in his alternate life. Maybe when he retires, he'll do some poetry or some public speaking. I'm inspired. I don't know if this is just because this is who you always are, or it's fight week and just your focus is kind of narrowing down to Friday, man. You seem like sharp as an axe. Is that kind of how it goes with your life? Like I've heard Ally Kinton, when he joined Arrow Hawani, he said fighting helps him, being in camp helps him. Everything around him starts to kind of be more organized, be more in place. His real estate, his relationships, like he realizes what's important. It raises his focus. Is that the same with you?
Yeah, 100%. It's a weird experience when you're preparing and that there's you've done it before and you've had a few belt. what's coming. There's some crazy shit gonna happen soon, and your senses get heightened, and obviously you're not drinking in camp. You're very focused. You're very dedicated to your diet, so your body is working at its optimal levels, and then there's the mental part of it too, where you're doing a lot of training, a lot of drilling, a lot of timing situation, where a lot of things start working out, the metaphysics of your day-to-day life, where things are just in a rhythm, and they just keep working. And it's I don't know how sustainable it is, because training camp is very tough on people around you, and it's tough on you. So I don't know if it's something that can even be maintained long term. But when you're peaking for a camp, and when you're getting ready for fight week and stuff, you really are at that that critical point, where your body's working at its best, and it's a great feeling. So you try to time those things and build towards your fight, and on fight week you try to have you try to be clicking on all cylinders, and that's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm in a really great place. Again, just a great team around me too. I gotta give shout out to Ray Longo. I mean, he's the head honcho. He's the godfather over at the gym, and he's
he literally is the godfather.
Yeah, he's also the quiet man. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't say much, but he doesn't have to say much, because of all that he is, that he doesn't have to say. So he's a powerful person, powerful presence, and I pick up on that stuff, and I try to learn from it, and I try to be a similar type of energy in the gym for people, and it's been working out for me pretty well. So we're excited.
Yeah, man. Undefeated 4-0. And speaking of your team, Justin Montalvo just got put in work at the Flex Fight Series Volume 6 this past Saturday. It was fantastic, man. I had the chance to interview him 2 weeks prior. His father, Nestor, he sought me out. He found me. He goes, well, no. I tapped on the shoulder. I was like, Nestor, what's going on? I was like, Nestor, I confirmed it. I saw the biceps. Like, he's got the dad biceps going, man. I'm like, put those away before you scare some cougars over here. And he goes, oh yeah, great interview. I wasn't sure if he was gonna slap me in the back of the head. He's like, come back to the locker room, say hi to Justin. I was like, oh man, give him my congratulations. And I kind of was seeking you out. I was like, man, I know this guy somewhere. And literally, like, the moment that I saw you had a hat on, you had a tub of water with you, and you were just kind of in your zone, in your element. I didn't want to I think finish it already.
All day, every day.
I thought maybe you might have spinning back elbowed me if I introduced myself, but man, you kind of could just like jump from scene to scene. But speaking with your teammate, how was it seeing Justin getting the job done with the beautiful body work and boxing, volume, cardio, and how does that roll over into your fight week?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Mr. Montalvo, Nestor. I mean, he's a great guy. Me and he's a guy that's really dedicated.
I got the shirt, man. He's like, you gotta get a shirt, and
however he can. Yeah. I
didn't want to make it like, what do you call it? Like, not collusion, something where it's like, I don't know, you're too close to your subjects. And I was like, you know what? I smoked the bowl with Dwayne Ludwig. I will never speak bad about that, man.
That's right. It's the new school journalism. You can hang. You can't all be in the Washington Post, guys. You know what I mean? So I think it's more fun this way. I think the viewers like that anyway, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, that's a pretty dynamic duo that they have there. Justin has his dad corner him for all of his fights. He's in the back. He's at the gym, like holding pads for him, warming up for him and stuff. So he's he really does a lot. I think Mr. Montalvo has a lot of respect for me too. I try to do as much as I can for Justin. He had a sensational performance, dropped a guy with a body shot. He is the body. His nickname is the Kid, but I think it's going to be changed into the Body Snatcher soon, because
let's go.
We do a ton of sparring too. I have a southpaw this camp, so I didn't get much work with him. But man, he likes to. He's got some really high level boxing. And when I got to the gym, he was just a boxer. He didn't have any jiu-jitsu or any wrestling or anything like that. So, I came to the school with pretty good jiu-jitsu. So we wound up bouncing off each other a few times, and just kind of melding our skills together and becoming more well-rounded. So I've picked up a lot from him. He's picked up a lot from me. I try to be like a big brother to him, honestly, because he's somebody that might struggle sometimes with the mental stuff, but he's an absolute savage. And when he gets it all going, he gets all when he gets his mind right, he's a very dangerous person, that cage. So I was pumped to see him. We had a bunch of wins too. I mean, we had, I think, 8 or 9 guys fighting between last weekend and this weekend. So
Wow.
I think we went 5-0 last weekend, or maybe 4-1 or 5-1. And then we got 4 more guys fighting, or 4 or 5 more guys fighting on this Ring of Combat card. So it's going to be a good night.
Fantastic, man. And what I also wanted to allude to about seeing you stand out like an ostrich among the crowd, man, you are freaking tall. I thought Justin is a pretty tall, pretty lanky 155er, man. How tall are you, and how the fuck do you get down to lightweight?
Yeah, I'm 6'1". I'm a pretty I'm not a skinny
You're
lightweight
not
either.
6'1", man. I'm
Yeah,
6.5. You're like 6'2",
6'1.5".
6'3".
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not one of these skinny lightweights either. I mean, I get down to 155. I don't think all the coaches tell me, like, they don't see a 155 or being bigger than me. I think Dan Hooker is a big 155.
Yes,
I think
I was
have
just gonna
similar type style as him, with the way that we do it. But as far as I'm concerned, I got to give a shout out to Tony Ricci. He was one of the guys that really helped me with my amateur career, dialing in and learning about the weight cut process. And he's just a genius. He has like multiple degrees and doctorates and shit. So I got to pick his brain as much as I possibly could. And, I have it down to a science now where, I know how to manipulate the carbs and the sodium and the water loads
Wow.
and all these different things where I show up in the cage and I'm feeling 100%, and I'm going to have a size advantage over just about every single person that I fight. So, it's been once again back to Serra-Longo team. It's just the best team in the world, in my opinion. We have everybody, and we just quality people that are all looking out for each other. I think it's a unique situation that we have, and I'm taking full advantage of it.
Fantastic, man. Again, Ring of Combat 74 this Friday. Dylan Mantello, undefeated, product out of Law MMA at the Quiet Man _MMA. Dylan, thank you for the time. This will be my final question, man. I'm sure you got to cut down from 205 pounds or wherever you're going from. But Brett Okamoto proposed this question to Justin Gaethje, and Gaethje, he answered this question very well, in my opinion. I would like to know what your thoughts are, being kind of the first man to go in front of your teammate Dennis Buzukja, who's also fighting on ROC 74. Do you kind of want to set the tone and build a momentum? Does that put more pressure on your back, or is it like, you know what, this is what Justin says? He goes, I go first. You could look at it either or. There could be less pressure on me. There could be more pressure on me. How do you see this?
Yeah, the way that I go into a fight is the same, whether I'm fighting the guy in the alley in the back of the building, or I'm the main event, or I'm the curtain jerker, or I'm the first card, or, I'm the first fight on the card. Doesn't matter to me. When you're in there, you're in your own time zone. Doesn't matter what's going on before or after. You need to focus on the fight. There's a few guys fighting on me before the card, I think, too, that'll lead up to me. But I think I'm starting off the title fights. It's me, and then James Gonzalez, who's another guy from the gym, fighting for a title, and then Dennis Buzukja fighting for a different title in the promotion too. So we have 3 title fights from the gym. So I'll be the first title fight, and I'm excited. I'm a leader. I try to step up, and I try to lead the way for people and say, put it on my shoulders, and I'll put my shoulder to the wheel, and let's just go get it, and let's go get it done. And I'll show people, the right energy to bring into the gym. I think my composure and my energy that I bring into the cage is probably one of my best attributes. I think it's a mental ability that I have to get myself in a pretty intense mindset without being overwhelmed. And I take pride in that. And if I can share that with any of the guys in the gym, then I'll be happy to do that. So I'm looking for a stellar performance for myself. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to dominate from start to finish. There's no quit in me whatsoever. And we'll see what this guy has for me. I don't think he has enough for me. And I think that he's going to be, put on a highlight reel. I think that he's a tough guy. He's got like 15 fights or something, never been finished, but Friday night is going to be the first finish for him, because, I'm unstoppable right now. I don't think he has enough for me, and it's going to be something special.
Hashtag promo alert, man. There's the clip. There's the sell job. We pushed you into 6th gear. I don't know how many gears a car goes up to. Is it 6 or 5?
I got 12. Don't even worry about it. I can go all day.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, I'm sure you know all the gears with your muscle cars. You may be the quiet man, but your cars are loud as shit. Well, my point is, I'm sorry for revving you up, man, because I kind of skipped the question. This is my apologies. Let's rev it down. Let's put the car in park for a second. You mentioned that you're a leader, and you also are a father. I see a little beautiful boy on your Instagram. I have a beautiful boy of my own. And folks, he's not driving around in a van. He doesn't live by a river. He doesn't throw these kids in and bring them down to Law MA to teach them martial arts like the movie 300 or something. But he is a father figure. He's a mentor. And I think we need more of that, Dylan. People who are kind of just present, whose minds are focused on the moment, especially with so many distractions in the world. Can you speak on being a father and being a mentor? And you promote it on your social media, which I respect.
Yeah, I know you were telling me off air. You just had a new baby boy born. So
Oh my
congratulations.
God, I'm scared to turn on the monitor right now. He's cursing me out.
That's all right. You got to keep an eye on him. Yeah, no, I have a stepson.
He's like, a
I
follow-up
don't have
question.
Yeah, I have a stepson. His name is Jordan. I've been in his life since he's 2 years old. So he's been a huge influence on me, and in situating myself in a position where I can take care of other people. It's one thing to be able to take care of yourself, and that's hard to do in the world. It's hard to get to a point where you can support yourself and you can be independent. And then the next step after that is, what can I do to help people around me? You start with your family, and then you start with the community, and then you see how far you could go. You're a node in a network, and I've taken that to heart. And I think that it's important to work on yourself continuously so that you can affect the people around you. My fiance is incredible. You find people in this world that motivate you and organize you and push you to be better. And I think that's what life's all about. I think I try to share that with different people on the team too. I try to be an example of what you can be inside the cage and what you could be outside the cage. If you're burning bridges with everybody that just so that you could get a victory in the cage, you won't have anybody to celebrate with. You know what I mean? So there needs to be a balance in life. And I try to be a role model for a lot of these guys, and I try to be a role model for Jordan as well. He means the world to me. Me and his mom are getting married in December, right after the fight. So we're excited about that. And, he actually, I try to keep him away from it a little bit, because I don't want him to end up being a fighter if he doesn't really want to. But, he loves the boxing, and he loves jujitsu, and he loves, I think he's having a love for martial arts. He loves Dragon Ball Z, which I've showed him. So, it's a special relationship that I have with him. And, I think that martial arts and self-defense is something that should be taught right up there with algebra, because I think it's just as important. And I think that if martial arts is more prevalent in society and more prevalent among young men in particular, I think that the world will be a better place. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Hashtag promo alert number 2 for all the moms and dads out there. Oh my God, forget soccer dad. We need fight dads and fight moms. Dylan, you're the man. Good luck this Friday. I will be tuning in. Maybe I'll have to reinstall the UFC Fight Pass. My wife's like, you don't even watch this, delete it. And I was like, oh, you're right. And yeah,
get the trial. Just do the trial, and then you can cancel it after the fight.
That's true. I don't need an Xbox
freaking
membership. I should be having the UFC Fight Pass membership to see Ring of Combat 74 this Friday. Dylan Mantello fighting for the belt against John Ramirez. He's a Law MMA product. He's undefeated. Follow him on Instagram at @thequietman_MMA. This guy is a freaking poet. He's a genius. I can't wait for his fight. Dylan, this is one of my favorite interviews. I appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it very much. Let's go.
The coolest shush in MMA was, I believe, when Conor McGregor just walks across the cage shushing people after he knocked out Dustin Poirier, UFC 178, I believe. At featherweight, it was young Conor, hungry Conor, cornrow Conor hair, whatever it's called, braids. Well, I think Dylan has the second coolest shush, and the Quiet Man _MMA fights this Friday. Again, ROC 74, and his teammate and headliner for ROC 74, Dennis Buzukja, and Albania's own, is up right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 1 minute and 9 seconds introduce to round one, your winner out of the blue corner, Dennis Buzukja.
Did you hydrate? Good. Get ready for another round inside the IkeTagon with your host, Ike Feldman.
What's up, everybody? IkeTagon is back. As the voice guy said, I hope you hydrated. I did. I know our next guest and our previous guest, Dylan Mantello, is not as hydrated as me, but I know he will be following his weigh-in this Thursday prior to his Ring of Combat 74 headline event. We're joined by none other, and this has been a long time coming. As I said, guys, I want to focus more on the local guys. I believe we, as Strong Islanders, New Yorkers, Connecticuters, and New Jerseyers, are more entertaining than anybody in the world. Just see Matt Serra, the godfather of Tri-State Jiu-Jitsu, and a product of Mr. Matt Serra, Dennis Buzukja. I hope I nailed it. He's 5-2. A product of Law MMA. Follow him on Twitter and I believe at Instagram as well, at Dennis Buzukja, Buzukja. It's that Albanian heritage, and they produce some studs out of Albania. So what's up, Dennis? How you doing? We can't see your pretty face yet. There it is.
We go. Got it, man. I'm new
Great
to
angle, man.
Thanks. Good. I love it.
How's it going, brother?
Good, brother. Good. Training's been good. Yo, you nailed it, bro. New York got the best entertainment, man. We're different. We're made different out here.
100%. Every time I see a Long Islander on the MMA Hour, good or bad, because we see Sterling and Hawani even making some headlines together. But dude, I've never seen Hawani on a beach with any other fighter. He's on a beach with Ali Quinta. I've never seen him cry with any other fighter. He's crying with Chris Weidman, man. We need to get you on the hour, but for now, you're on the IkeTagon, man. Yeah, like you said, you are entertaining. We are entertaining. But how's life going, man? I saw on your Instagram. I need to get better at my IG game, get on with the gram fam. But I saw you were traveling, man. Some training mixed in. How was that trip to Albania?
Yeah, man, it was insane. I haven't been there before this in 4 years. So going back, it's like Albania's growing every day, because it's a third world country. And everything's being built brand new. So seeing the difference in 4 years, it's like a different planet. The country's beautiful. It has the most mountains and caves in all of Europe. Fun little fact. So just beautiful landscape, beautiful
Wait a
people.
second.
Everyone's sweet.
I think hold on. I think there's there's a tourist guide thing going on there. My wife is from Macedonia. I've been there twice now for 2 weeks, 2-week trips each. They said the same exact thing. We have the most mountains and caves. I swear to God, they said the same thing. I go, how many mountain caves are over there?
They got a lot, bro. They got a lot. It's man, I love that place. Why your wife's from Macedonia? That's sick. Same right next to.
Nice. Yes, it's a beautiful area, and it was cool to see your teammates Aljamain Sterling and Ali Quinta to get out of Long Island and go to Georgia with Marab, man. It's like the world is not just 118 miles from the city to the Hamptons. There's a lot more, but we hold it down for Strong Island. But what other countries have you been to?
I've been to Australia, actually. I cornered Al for his hooker fight. That was a nice hike. I've been to Italy when I was a kid. I got a lot of family in Milan. I've been to Colombia. I've been to Panama, and I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Is this post girlfriend? Is this pre girlfriend? And my apology if you guys are married or fiancéed up.
No, girlfriend, all good. This is before girlfriend. Actually, no. I went to Panama while I was with her. Actually.
Nice.
So, but I went with my cousin. I won a free trip. Actually, it was pretty sick. I won it at a charity event.
What was it like? You had to shoot a 3-pointer or something?
Bro, it was my boy Dardan La, who's my best friend. His charity event. He's part of a charity, and it was like a casino night. They raised money to build wells in like Africa for the kids and like help the bees pollinate, something along those lines. So I never played blackjack in my life. It was my first time. So my best friend John Siri, he gets me $100 of chips, right? It was like four $25 chips. Bro, I went from that. I never played blackjack in my life. They were teaching me as I was going. I went from that to like 25,000. And
Wait, dollars
bro,
or
I
pesos?
wish dollars, bro. This was in New York. I wish it was real money. And they said because I won like the most amount of money, money, I won a free trip to Panama. I was sick, bro. It was like the coolest little thing.
Holy moly. Again, we're being joined by Dennis Buzukja. Again, Law MMA product. Follow him on Twitter, Dennis Buzukja, or I guess Buzukja. Like, I don't know. B-U-Z.
No, it's good.
I'm trying to get it for the people who like phonetically how they see it. But Bazooka is cool, man. I need like my toilet paper launcher or something here. That would have been funny. But if and when I go to Albania, where should I go and what should I see?
Go to Shkodër. That's where I'm from. Just say you know me. You'll be taken care of. Shkodër, you got Tirana as the capital city. If you go to Shkodër though, you gotta go to this place. I'll message it to you. It's called Lumishals and Theth. It's like mountains. It's the most beautiful thing you'll ever see, man. It's insane. So Shkodër is definitely where it's at. They have a huge castle in the middle of the city on the top of the mountain.
Nice.
You'll love it, man. Yeah, Albania has a lot of cool things.
Is it a very drinking heavy culture? Like
I mean, not like that, not like a party heavy, but there's this drink called ROC, which is like moonshine that they make a lot.
Yeah, same thing, Macedonia, man. It's like 60 proof. Her father, at 10 a.m., he's like, he passes me a shot,
Yep.
and I'm like, it's 10 a.m. and she's like, take it, don't be disrespectful. And he says it's good for circulation. At 10 a.m., I'm fucking drunk. Same thing with you guys.
First thing in the morning, the elder people, that's the first thing they ingest. No water, no nothing, just that. Just a little shot of that every morning.
And it's like you said, my wife jokes around about like how tough times are, but yeah, it's not a party country, but it's kind of like a very warm culture in the fact that egos are driven down. It's like everybody's in the same fight, whether it be maybe some corrupt governments or maybe money isn't flowing as fast. And I'm assuming you're doing the same thing as my wife. As much as you could give back, you can. Like just getting them a refrigerator cost us like $100, but like they got like the highest tech refrigerator. Man, it's crazy going to that part of the world. It just makes you appreciate what you have, like Zoom, computers, microphones, like the healthiness to train and whatnot. I'm sure during your injury, it's like a lot of people, just the pandemic alone crushed people. And I'm sure you and the team were thriving. You're like, you know what, we can deal with this. Adversity is kind of what fighters used to. And then holy moly, God throws an injury into your collarbone. You get more time to reflect, more time to think. Take us through that maybe that mental growth about 15 weeks ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so man, it was 2 weeks before I was supposed to fight. I was supposed to actually fight this guy and defend the belt at ROC 73, I think it was. I broke my collarbone 2 weeks before the fight, and it just set me back so much. But at the end of the day, I know God has a plan for everything. Everything happens for a reason. So I just had to carry that with me and just get me through the times. So I took the time to just go to Albania, eat healthy.
Nice.
Go up to the mountain, see my family. I wanted to spend time with my grandfather, which I did. He passed away like 2 days after I left. It was just, everything was crazy. So I'm happy I got to spend time with him. And I just reflected a lot over there and just spending time with family that I haven't seen in years and just seeing the way, people struggle over there. And it just makes me appreciate everything I have here and like my parents coming here to give me a better life, which they have, and they give me everything they can. So I'm just blessed, man. I'm blessed in every way. And I'm blessed that I can go back, like you said, and see them when I want, if I want. And it just puts things into perspective. And you come back here and you're more motivated and hungry. I healed up over there. So now I'm just ready to go Friday night and take care of business.
Wow, man. That's fantastic. The breakthroughs and obviously the time you, most importantly, you got to see with your family. Last week, I got to speak to a guy who's putting a whooping on Sterling lately. I'm just kidding. Out in what's the I forget the team. Natan Levy out in Vegas.
Oh,
Is it Extreme Couture? It's not Extreme Couture, right?
Syndicate. I think he's with Syndicate.
Syndicate, and Nick Sick, or I forget the coaches.
Oh, Nick Six with Extreme.
Oh, okay. You know, it's a crossover over there. What
Yeah,
happens in
it's those
Vegas
two gyms,
stays
though.
in Vegas, as they say. But yeah, it was one of the realest answers I got from him was about his family. He got to see them over the pandemic for 2 weeks, and it meant the world to him. And he said it was sweet, and he couldn't capture that time, man. Just coming back here to Long Island, I was in Brooklyn, and not the richest of neighborhoods, and you kind of, when everybody's on top of each other and kind of in it together, you don't want to rock the boat. But I come back to Long Island after 5 years in some rough neighborhoods in the city, and it's like, man, I go, you spoiled sons of bitches. I go, you guys don't know how good you got it out here. It's quiet.
Yeah.
There's no alarms. Nobody's cursing you out. No, you don't have to like make sure your wife got into the apartment if you're not home right away. You don't have to ride the subways if you get all these diseases after training. If the facility doesn't have a shower, man, it's like spoiledness. And it seems that you come from humble beginnings. And is that from your parents? Is that from your family? Where's that come from exactly?
Yeah, no, 100% from my parents. You know, the way they raised me with an Albanian culture. I grew up in New York, obviously, in Staten Island. But they came here with nothing. They left everything back there. They risked everything coming here. They came here at like 25 years old, 24 years old. So imagine going across the world. You leave everything. You go, just you and your wife with a baby, to another country. At the time, they grew up in communism, so they didn't have any other resources or knowledge of the outside world. So it's pretty much like going to Mars at this point. Just you and your wife and a baby, and you don't know what's gonna happen. So they did that. You know, they left everything, and they did it for me and my siblings to be raised with, opportunities. And it definitely left a mark on me. You know, the way they raised me, and I keep that in my head. And that's where like my work ethic comes from, because I get it from them. I know everything they suffered through and they sacrificed. So for me to go and be lazy, or to not work hard and give it everything I have, is just a slap in the face to everything they gave up, and I would never do that to them.
Wow. 150%. Your parents are what Elon Musk is looking for to send to Mars, man. But they took the huge leap. That takes balls. And I heard this great quote from Kevin Hart from on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's like, it is your responsibility as your generation to better the next generation. And it's like, my father from Israel, same thing, came over here. And it's like, I could never do that. It's like I would crumble. And it's like, for me, maybe trying to get the career started, it's like, for my son, it's going to be easier. He's going to be growing up with all this bells and whistles and technology. And I'm going to look at him as like a little spoiled kid. But I appreciate what you're saying, man. You're seizing the moment. You're taking your opportunity. It doesn't seem like it's extra pressure for you. It seems kind of like you're present. You're living in the moment, and you kind of see it as what Dana White says. It's an opportunity. It's not a career. It's an opportunity. Is that how you feel? Fighting, of course, what we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it is an opportunity, because other people, there's so many people in the world. Every person that goes and watches me fight, they wish they can do what I do. And I carry the weight of Albania on my back. You know, I have supporters. I would say fans, but I just, it's weird to say fans at this point. I feel weird. I'll call them supporters, because they just believe in me, but from all over. So it is an opportunity, because a lot of people can't do what I do. Some people might not be mentally healthy or physically healthy, just born that way. So for me to go and make all these people happy and proud, and for me to go do what I love and live my dream and make money doing it, and inspire others, it's an opportunity, absolutely. But you have to work for it. So, it goes hand in hand. You have to work for it. It's not going to just come. And yeah, I think Dana's right with that, by calling it an opportunity.
Wow. Again, we're being joined by Dennis Buzukja, 5-2 product out of Law MMA. Follow him on Twitter at Dennis Buzukja. He's fighting this Friday night, Ring of Combat main event. Holy moly, this guy's chill, but he's going to be giving us thrills on Friday night. Download the UFC Fight Pass. I already did. As I told Dylan, I deleted it because since the ESPN Plus deal, I feel like they're just throwing fights at me. But if you want to see CFFC, CES, Cage Warriors, of course, Ring of Combat, download that UFC Fight Pass. And this Friday night, ROC 74. Holy moly. Now, Dennis, before we get to your matchup against Michael Lawrence, you seem extremely mentally tough. And I think it's good every time it's a Tyson Fury fight week. People who deal with mental illness or mental struggles, they can see a kind of a real life superhero who said he gained 130 pounds, was drinking, putting everything up his nose that he could find. And he made the bounce back for the whole Wilder trilogy. I honestly thought when the Joshua fight fell out, I was like, oh man, maybe that's a mental lapse for him to ease up. He shows that no focus, discipline can pay off. He stayed focused, stayed disciplined, got the job done. Dennis, what would you say to people on the outside who see you? You got the girl, the body, good looking. You have the team around you. Life seems like it's perfect. And people will say, oh, well, Dennis was given all these gifts and traits and he didn't have to work for anything. Can you take us a little behind the curtain and tell us, have you ever had to deal with mental kind of strength building, and that maybe not what you see is what you get, what you're promoting is that of hard work?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, bro. I swear to God. Everything I have, I didn't have it as hard as others, but in this sport especially, and I love to say it about this sport, it's only you. If you don't work hard, you won't get anywhere. It is what it is. And Ray says it all the time. I say it. Iaquinta says it. Who you are shows in the cage. If you're a cheater, it'll show. If you're a fucking quitter, excuse my language, it's gonna show. If you have heart, if you have the heart of a lion and you won't give up, that'll show. And people can see it, whether they know the sport or not. So, for someone to ever say I was gifted something or whatever, I went in there, I go every day. I'm the only one. My dad's not going to go wrestle for me. My mom's not going to go spar for me. My
Don't do that.
My sponsor. Yeah, no, I would never. Nobody, I'm the one who has to go put in the work. I have to suffer. I have to bleed. I have to break my bones and sweat and cut weight and deal with the pressure of fighting another guy who's training to fight me for 2 months. And I have to go put my fist to his face and knock him out to excel to the next level. So in this sport especially, and that's why I love this sport so much, it's either your hard work shows. Either you work hard or you don't. And if you don't, there's no cheating in this game. You can't cheat your way to the top.
150 fucking percent. People think I'm nuts. I go, I know the truth is revealed on that night. People are like, no, but Connor's posting all his traps and shoulder blades on Instagram. I go, no, you'll find out on the night of the fight. Good point. Yeah. That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. Two more, brother. I know you got to get out of here and cut your 30 pounds because you're probably 178. You're Jack Diesel. You're beefy, bro.
I'm Jack, dude. I'm Jack. I'm a Guido, Long Island Jack.
That's right. We all become Italian, man. We're all like a brother of Al Quinta out here. But anyway, man, I think the world will get introduced to you with the DWCS fight. I'm not even going to take a swing at this guy's name. Holy moly. Did you represent Strong Island, Staten Island, every island in the tri-state area, man? Obviously, you didn't get your hand raised, but I believe you won that third round. You came back. You got dealt a fucking killer. Let's be honest. Like, that guy is a killer. He comes out his next fight. I think it was the very next fight. He got a TKO win. The guy's got beautiful kickboxing. You weather the storm. Holy moly. Take us through that fight leading up to it and how it's made you a better fighter.
Yeah, man. Wow. That whole experience was insane. Melsik, his name is Melsik Bagdasaryan.
Oh,
he had over
ding.
Yeah, there you go. He's from Armenia. He had over 200 kickboxing fights. He was really, really experienced. Yeah, I think he was a world champion in kickboxing.
Wow.
So he was fucking good, bro. That guy was really good. it was just we kind of like knew he might come out crazy because we've seen like his past. None of his fights went past like a minute and 20 seconds. I think a minute and 9 seconds was his longest MMA fight, and he just knocked everyone out. So we figured he might come out hot, which he did. We said we'll weather the storm, we'll wear on him with the cage wrestling and everything. But he was just strong, man. He was a solid guy. But I gained a lot of experience from that fight. Learned what to do, what not to do. I don't know what happened.
Zoom is a learning experience as well.
Yeah, no, someone called me, so I just had to bang it on them real quick. Hit him with that hammer, that red hammer. So it was just I learned a lot about myself because I took a lot of hard shots where a lot of other lesser men might have quit and gave up and just took the easy way out. But I wasn't going anywhere. I gave it everything I had. I didn't get my hand raised that night, but I came back. I thought I won the second, and the third round was a close round. You said you thought I won the third. Some people did think I won the third. Minimum. First round he definitely had, so excuse me, it is what it is at the end of the day.
In a 5-round fight, how would have that gone?
I think I would have won that if it was a 5-round fight. Yeah, I think I would have taken that because he was done. I remember looking at him from across the cage between the second and third round, and he was on the chair like hunched over, and Edmund, his coach, was like slapping him to like snap him out of it, like full on like open palms slapping the shit out of him. But I was like, I remember looking at him and I'm like, yo, this guy's exhausted, so I made sure the third round like to come off really hot, like start it and like kind of melt him away. But he was throwing like these crescent kicks that were really throwing me off and like kind of were like sneaking under my elbow. Mm-hmm. So they were kind of like zapping my energy like a little bit, not much, but they were annoying, So it kind of like it made me readjust while he caught his win. So that was just his experience, his 200 fights. His experience played a huge factor. And I took from his 200 fights, I gained probably from his experience from those fights, I gained in that fight with him. So I learned a lot. And, maybe I don't get the knockout, but I'll know how to win a fight. If it's a 1-1, 1 round him, 1 round me fight, I'll know how to win the third now.
And now spin this forward. You had a beautiful war in the Triton fight in Florida. You represented the North, man. You and Harriet Tubman are always holding it down for the North. you really did it, man. That was a hell of a fight. Triton 18 is now Flex Fight Series. Taking the momentum from I believe Steve Lee, Justin Montalvo, their huge wins this past weekend and more. I believe the team went 9-1, 8-1, something crazy like that. Hashtag Law MMA. If you guys don't know, now you know. Spin this forward. What are we going to see Friday night? ROC 74 against Michael Lawrence, the rebooking.
I'm knocking this guy out, man. Like where I am mentally, where I am physically, just everything. I'm healthier than I've been in a long time. So it's just my confidence is back. I got my mojo back a little bit. I was stumbling a bit. So I'm gonna just go out there and just put my hands on this guy. And Ray said it best. He said, just go out there, let your hands go, and it's gonna be a good night for you. He said if he either he goes out because of the power, or if he can take it, then this guy got a great chin, but it's still gonna hurt him. So I'm gonna go just do what I do and just knock this guy out, keep the momentum going for the team.
Your hands flow, man. As much muscle, you keep trying to like be the Albanian Bane, man. Like you're just growing and growing and growing. It's like slow down. Your hands are nice.
I just turned 24, bro. I'm still growing.
My goodness. I'm not even gonna ask what you walk around with 180. But dude, your hands are nice. McGregor's hands are nice. Adesanya's hands are nice. And what you guys also have in common, paradigm management, is that correct? Are you a part of the same team? Yeah. They know it's real. Real recognizes real. And if you guys are real, ROC 74 UFC Fight Pass this Friday. Dennis Buzukja, representing Law MMA. Follow him on everything at Dennis Buzukja. I think he has an OnlyFans now. He just started it. Get him there.
My girl's gonna kill me, bro.
He pulls the quiet man like his teammate Dylan. All MMA representing this.
Right. Taking after Dylan.
That's really what it means. We all know, Dylan. We all know. But Dennis, I appreciate the time. Good luck to you, brother. Enjoy the rest of fight week and have fun on Friday.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Thanks for having me. I'm gonna go put this guy's lights out, man.
I think I'm just gonna shush everybody. I'm just gonna shush everybody. Somebody's talking, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Dylan, Dennis, you guys are great. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the interview. I hope it wasn't too straining on your time, but I do appreciate it. And guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for the likes, the downloads, the retweets, the views, everything. You guys are making me rich. I'm gonna close shop eventually, but for now I'm still open. Look at the studio improving every week. I love you guys. Till next time, IkeTagon, your boy Ike Feldman is Owzy. That's original. Nobody said that. I'm Owzy, bro. Peace.